All right, welcome to the Morning Spike. So today I'm gonna do a solo show. It's gonna be a quick one. So we're just gonna break down the over/under for some of the AFC for the AFC South teams and NFC South teams. So we might get some of the guys coming in a little later. We'll see. One of those long extra holiday weekends. We got Memorial Day tomorrow, so everyone's probably getting ready for that. But I'm going to be here. We're going to talk about some AFC, NFC South teams. So let's just start off right off the bat with Houston. We got the Texans. The Texans, their odds are 4.5 games. So, which seems pretty low, but it's also the Texans, and they are in big issues this year. There's a quick rundown of their schedule. So they're going against the Colts, the Broncos, the Bears, Chargers, Jags, Raiders, Titans, Eagles, Giants, Commanders, Dolphins, Browns, Cowboys, Chiefs, Titans, Jags, Colts. So, I mean, luckily their division, I think, isn't too bad, minus the Titans. I guess the Colts are pretty good too. And take that back. I take all that back because the Jags might have a pretty good team this year. Titans are still the Titans, and the Colts might do something with Matt Ryan. So we'll see. But I don't see them winning over 4. I mean, Chargers, maybe the Bears might be a good one. But I still think the Bears should win that one. I mean, Colts lose, Broncos lose, Bears should probably be a loss. Chargers loss, Jags maybe, depending if they get the train rolling by then. Raiders will probably be a loss. Titans, Eagles, Giants maybe a loss there. Commanders, again, depending on what's really going on over there, they got a lot of issues. Dolphins should be a loss. Browns definitely by then. At the beginning of December, I don't see them winning against Deshaun Watson and the Browns. Cowboys, Chiefs, Titans, loss. Jags, hopefully by then, I think they should really get rolling. And Colts. Man, I see them maybe winning 2. Maybe the Bears, being a Bears fan, maybe the Bears, if it's really just that clustered up in Chicago, because of everything's new over there, and they don't have a lot of offensive line and D line and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 at most. Maybe they could squeeze out 3, but I don't see it happening too much with that. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, Davis Mills is going to be the quarterback, and I don't know. they're going through the AFC West. They're gonna have a lot of guys there. Oh man, yeah, 4.5. They're not winning over 4.5. And then ESPN says their prediction is we got Sarah Barshop said it takes some requires some faith in the improved offense behind quarterback Davis Mills. She said, but she'll take the over in Houston, which for me is kind of crazy. I don't see them winning five games. Where? I mean, we're not counting preseason, so they can't count. But yeah, so that's the Texans 4.5. I don't think it's going to happen. Now we're going on to the Colts. So the Colts are not they're at 9.5, which is pretty good. Excuse me, I'm sorry about all the coughing. So quick rundown of their schedule for 2022. They got Houston, Jags, KC, Tennessee, Denver, Jags again, Tennessee, Washington, New England, Raiders, Philly, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Minnesota, and Chargers. So, man, that's not too tough of a schedule. Especially, I think if Matt Ryan can really get the train rolling early, which I think he could. I think we could see some good stuff out of there. Houston, that should be a win. Jacksonville, that early on should be a win. Kansas City, probably a loss. Titans, probably a loss. Denver's, that's going to be a really good game. Two legendary, QBs. I mean, I guess people can argue about Matt Ryan being legendary. I think he is. I think he is a great QB. Both on new teams. In Denver, we got Russell Wilson. So it's going to be interesting. I think Denver should win that one, but we'll see. Jacksonville, that should be a win. Tennessee, that's definitely a loss. Washington, a win. New England's going to be another good one. That one's a 50-50. I'm not even sure. I would really, really have to see, because that's on the second half of the season. So depending on injuries, Matt Ryan could be injured. So is Nick Foles playing? So that's kind of a iffy one. Raiders is going to be another good one for them, I think. Philly's going to be another good one. Pittsburgh, this whole second half of the season after Washington, it is New England, Vegas, Philly, Pittsburgh, Dallas, Minnesota. Which Minnesota could really get stuff going. And then the Chargers. That is a great freaking second half for the fans. It's going to be tough for the Colts for sure. But they're at 9.5 wins. I think they're going to get majority of their wins the first half of the season, because, Texans, probably Jags, probably. Yeah. And then Washington. That's 3, I could see them kind of, beating Pittsburgh, Philly, maybe, depending, but this whole second half of the season, how is Matt Ryan going to play? Is he going to be good enough that late in the season with being an older quarterback? So, Nick Foles is a great second string. He's a great backup. Starter, I never bought in on Nick Foles too much, but I think he's a great backup. But and then them together out there is really, really, really interesting. I can see them doing some good stuff. 9.5 wins though for me. Ooh, it's so dependent on what's going on at the second half of that season. But I think, I might have them probably, man, because that's a perfect number, because they're going to be 9 or 10 wins, I think. But I'll give them the over. I'll give them 10 wins. I think they could squeeze it out. Excuse me. Jonathan Taylor is still there. Michael Pittman Jr., and Matt Ryan. So it might be a good run for 10 wins. It might be like a real good run for 10 wins. I think they could do it, but they would really, by that after Washington, this team's almost as good, if not slightly better than them, for the most part. Pittsburgh, Dallas, Minnesota, those they should win if everything's going good. Pittsburgh's got a lot of issues. Dallas somehow finds a way to be Dallas, especially towards the end of the season. And Minnesota, I mean Minnesota, so it can go both ways. They can, have a freaking crazy game with JJ having crazy amount of yards, and then the Chargers, which I think that's gonna be another good game. Cool. So let's move on to the Jags. So the Jags are at 6.5 wins. Doug Peterson leading the ship. Urban Meyer got kicked out after kicking players and all that stuff. Trevor Lawrence is coming back second season, which everyone's expecting really good things. Christian Kirk, how do you feel about that? He's there. Jones, tight end, Evan Ingram. They have a pretty decent squad. So let's do a quick rundown of their schedule. So they started off with Washington, then Indy, then Chargers, Philly, Houston, Indy again, Giants, Denver, Vegas, KC, Baltimore, Detroit, Tennessee, Dallas, Jets, Houston, and Titans. Sorry, hold on, my mouse got stuck. Yeah, so it's not too bad. So they're at 6.5. Washington, I see could be winning. Indy probably a loss with Chargers, loss with Philly, should win against Houston. Probably lose against Indy. Giants is gonna be an interesting one because that's kind of right at that time where the Giants started getting injured. But they made some moves, so hopefully, with their draft moves, they have a better O-line, better just offensive scheme and stuff like that. And also, they have their new coach, I believe, too. So we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be a pretty interesting one, I think. Denver, Russell Wilson should beat them. Vegas, that's gonna be an interesting one again. Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit. Detroit should be a win. Tennessee, Dallas, Jets should be a win, but that's gonna be really interesting seeing two-year quarterbacks, both drafted super high in the draft that year. Kind of going at it, because Trevor Lawrence, he's like number one, so he was like the guy, and then Zach Wilson had high hopes, but we'll see. We'll see what he can do out there. Then they got Houston, which should be another win, and then Tennessee, which probably gonna be a loss. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. That's actually really, really good. 6.5. 6.5. That's because I counted Washington, Houston. That's already 2. Giants. Ooh, see that's the one that's up in the air. Detroit should probably be a win. Jets should be a win. Houston be a win. So that's already like 6. I'll give them the over. But I don't give them the over by much. I would say 7 wins. But they would have to beat the Giants and probably, yeah, because I really don't see them beating Dallas, and I don't see them beating Baltimore. So I would give them 7, but that's about where I'm at with that. Yeah. And over on ESPN, we got Michael DeRoca was saying, see what he's saying, the same. But he doesn't really say what he's doing, what he's picking. He's just talking about the team. But 6.5 is a good number for them. I think it's a good number from them to reach, especially after the season they had last year. I think just changing the coach out is gonna change so much for that team. So we'll see how that goes. 6.5. I think they can go 7. But that's a pretty good number for them right there. All right, well, let's move on. This is gonna be a quick episode because I'm solo, and I have no one to argue with. Martin's not here, Brian's not here. I have no one to give me any arguments. So we got the Titans. Titans are at 9.5. So they are projected to win the division at 9.5, which isn't out of the realm of possibility because obviously they probably are the best team in that division. 9.5. Let's see. Tennessee has won 9 or more games in each of the last 3 seasons. So there you go. So with Mike Varbell as coach, they get a lot of AFC West teams this year, so could put a little damper on because the AFC West is going to be tough. So it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park, but I think they can get to 10 again. They're probably going to win the division. Pretty sure. I don't see Houston definitely not making a run for it. Jacksonville's not making a run for it. Maybe Indy if they can really get it going like early on and keep it going. But I don't see it happening. Tennessee though, they're gonna Tannehill somehow is gonna, all the therapy he had in the offseason, maybe, he's out of his head. But quick rundown of their schedule. They got the Giants, which should be a win. Buffalo, which that's gonna be a good game. Vegas, Indy should be a win. Washington should be a win. Indy again should be a win. Houston should be a win. So that's a nice stretch of teams that they should win. Then you got Kansas City, you got Denver, you got Green Bay, you got Cincinnati and Philly, and that's gonna be a really, really tough stretch because you got Kansas City, which is Kansas City, Denver, because you really don't know what they're coming up with this year with the new team, because Russell Wilson might just be the best version of him that we've seen in a long time. And Green Bay, of course, Green Bay. So at Green Bay on top of that. So in November it's gonna be nice and chilly. Cincinnati is gonna be a good one. Then you got Philly, Jacksonville, Chargers, Houston, Dallas, and then Jacksonville again. So that last little stretch at the end isn't too bad. Philly, that's gonna be a really good game. I think Philly's gonna be a good team this year. That's gonna be a really fun game, I think, to watch. Then we got Jacksonville, Chargers, Houston, Dallas, Jacksonville again. So I definitely got them going over 10 wins. I think they could do it. My only issue is Tannehill in the right state of mind, especially early on in the season. Just because of all the reports and everything going on as we went into after their loss in the playoffs, he kind of went to therapy. He blamed himself and this, so he had a lot of mental obstacles he had to overcome, to even be a leader. I mean, he's gonna obviously a lot of people are gonna question him and this and that and stuff. I mean, he's always been questioned, but this year is his year to really prove it. And I don't know if he can or not, but we'll see. But at 9.5, I definitely have them going 10. I think they can get 10. They have a really tough stretch right in the middle, and they see Buffalo second game of the season. So that could be a real mind F to Tannehill, So we'll see that. 9.5. I got him going over that easy. Pretty easy. Then we got now we're going to the NFC side of the South. We're gonna start off with the Atlanta Falcons. So they're at bring it down real quick. They're at 5.5. So I wish Martin was here because I know this is Martin's favorite team. I'm sure we'll bring it up a little bit later. 5.5 for them. So not good. A lot of roster changes. But I think they could be kind of surprising. Their front seven on the defense is pretty good. Oh man, just right off the bat, I think they're gonna be under 5. I think they'll be at 5, if maybe. Where let's look at the schedule for 2022. The Falcons are going to face the Saints, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Browns, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Panthers, Chargers, Panthers again, Chicago, and then Washington. Well, that's there you go. We got so Martin's a Falcon fan, and we got them going against Chicago, and then we got Falcons versus Washington, and Washington is Mark is a Washington fan, so that's gonna be a nice little back-to-back fan versus fan, friend versus friend kind of week. Then they got Pittsburgh, Saints, Baltimore, Arizona, Tampa Bay. Yeah, this is a really like weird looking schedule. The Saints I think is a good one because they still have a lot of issues on offense as well. So I think they might be able to. I don't think Kamara is going to be playing in the beginning of the season, so they don't have to worry about that too much. So you just got to worry about Jameis Winston and his weapons, and who is he going to be? Is he going to be a good one or is he going to be a bad Jameis Winston? Because we've seen both and how he is as both. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see what they do over there. The Rams, it's going to be a tough game. Seattle, that should be a winnable game. I think it should be a winnable game. Cleveland, that they're going to get what? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th game of the season. We don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I know Brian has been saying he's going to probably get like 8 or 6 games and then appeal it and then only do 4. So that would be the 4th one. But so that if it's Watson, it's a for sure loss. If it's one of the other two, was it who do they have? Well, I know Mayfield, but I don't. That's a whole nother conversation. Is Baker Mayfield even gonna play this year? Are they gonna like put him now? Because they also got I can't think of his name. Brissett? Do they? I don't know. But yeah, that's the guy that they're gonna play is and they're not gonna play Mayfield. But that's gonna be an interesting game depending who the coach quarterback is. Tampa Bay, that should definitely be a loss. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. San Francisco, that's gonna be another good game because San Francisco's got a lot of stuff going on over there. Every player's not wanting to play. Who's your quarterback? So that's gonna be a good one. Cincinnati should probably be a loss for Falcons. Carolina, that's another good game. Chargers, Carolina again. Chicago, that's going to be a pretty good game, I think. Chicago by then should hopefully kind of know what team they are. And the Falcons probably too, because you got Mariota's quarterback. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a really good game. And I know we might watch it live. I don't bring Martin on. And then Washington, I think the Falcons should win it, but you never know. Sorry, Mark, knocking down your Washington. Then you got Pittsburgh. That's gonna be again, a good game. The Saints, Baltimore, Arizona, Tampa Bay, 5.5. I don't know. I don't see the Falcons. I don't see the Falcons getting 5.5. That's a lot for them this season. Let me see where they could win it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe. But they would have to beat some teams. Like they would have to beat the Saints. They would have to beat Pittsburgh, I think, or the Saints towards the end of the season, which is doable depending on how they're doing. The Saints probably might figure that might be, but I got them winning 5. They could win 6 though. Last year they won 7, but that was with Matt Ryan still as quarterback. Now they got Mariota, so that's gonna be interesting. interesting there. I see them winning 5, maybe 6, but I'm gonna put them at 5 for now. That's my unofficial official standings with that. Let's see. And we're gonna move on to the Carolina Panthers. Pull up their schedule real quick. So they're technically at 6. So I don't like doing that. So I put them at 6.5. So they haven't had a winning season since 2017. I mean, they haven't had a solid quarterback since then. I mean, we got Sam Darnold. Is he the dude? Is he the guy? I don't know. I don't see him being the guy. He says he's gonna be great. But so does everybody. But a quick rundown of their schedule: they got the Browns, the Giants, the Saints, Cardinals, San Fran, Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Atlanta again, Baltimore, Denver, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Tampa, and the Saints. So looking at it, it's not too bad. Cleveland's going to be an interesting one because I think they should lose that one, even if Watson doesn't play. I think that team is definitely super happy right now, which helps them, mentally be in a better spot. Giants, that's going to be interesting. They should win it. I don't know, man. That's going to be like who's suckier at that point. I don't know. The Giants did do some good stuff in their offseason in the draft, so they might be able to get a win there. If not, I don't know. That's gonna be a good one to watch. Not fun, but it's gonna be like, oh look, they suck more. The Saints again, we're gonna see what they do on offense. Their defense is pretty solid, so I think. Arizona should probably be a loss. San Fran probably up in the air. Rams should be a loss. Tampa should be a loss. The two, we got Atlanta, Cincinnati, Atlanta. So the Cincinnati one they should lose. The Atlanta ones is going to be interesting because that's Atlanta, another team, and then Atlanta again. So not much is going to change between playing them. I think they could split. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Atlanta should beat them, especially if Mariota's kind of got the stuff going on. I think they should win. Atlanta should win both. But then Baltimore, Denver, Seattle. Seattle might be a good one because Seattle doesn't really got anything going on over there right now. Pittsburgh, Detroit. Detroit might be a good one too. I think Carolina should win that. Also, I don't have any faith in Detroit, even though Martin and everyone's saying like how they should win. I don't have any faith in Detroit. Sam Darnold might ball out against Detroit of all teams. I don't know. But we got then Tampa and then Saints at the end. So interesting. They got them at 6.5. I don't see that happening. I mean, they won 5 last year. I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning 6.5. I don't see them winning 6. I don't think Sam Darnold is the guy. I don't think he's the guy that you can follow and you can be behind. So yeah. Hey, there's Martin. Even though we got 2 teams left. So what's up, man?
Hey, man. Sorry, dude. I just now woke up, bro.
I was gonna tell you don't even worry about it because I only got 2 teams left.
Oh, all right. Well, let's finish these up.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back since we just talked about the Falcons, and I know you're a Falcons fan. So we just finished Panthers. So they're at 6.5 for wins. Well, technically they're at 6. I put them at.
Really?
I don't like a solid number because that's not a good way how over and under should work. They got them at 6.5. They haven't had a winning season since 2017. Sam Darnold is still the quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning 6.5.
I don't know, man. And I don't. The fact that Brady kind of can't Brady's back, so that kind of
Yeah.
that team hasn't changed. Um, yeah, I don't see. That's gonna be a tough one because that one's an interesting division with the Saints being the way they are. I know
Yeah.
people are like, oh, they're gonna be good or they're gonna be horrible. People aren't really. I haven't really seen a big time flop change on either of them. You know, they
Yeah.
had a chance to get Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, all of them. They had a chance. They didn't do anything about it. So, they did upgrade on linemen. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they got Matt Corral. My bad. But like late, right? Like third round.
Something like that.
So I don't see them. They might stay at 6 wins, man.
I would give them 6 max. I mean, I really see them going 5. I see them.
I agree
Giants.
with that.
Yeah, the Giants. The Saints are going to be interesting, but the Giants, that's going to be a good game that they should win. But also the Giants early on in the season usually like to start off pretty strong. What's his name is healthy, so that's going to be an interesting one. I mean, besides Seattle, even Detroit, those are really the only 2 wins that they should win.
Yeah,
but yeah, everything else is going to be especially against the Saints twice, and Falcons twice. But I still see them losing the Falcons both times.
they might split.
They might split, but I think since it's Falcons, Cincinnati, and then Falcons again. So if you don't win that, if it's not close in that first game, I don't see them winning that second game. Unless something major happens in that week in between, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But then we'll since, like I said, you're a Falcons fan, we'll go back to the Falcons. So the Falcons odds are 5.5, which is kind of low for me. It was kind of low for me. I thought that was pretty low. I can easily see them winning 5 with so, but here's a rundown of their schedule. They got Saints, Chargers, Seattle, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Carolina, Chargers, Carolina, Chicago, Washington, Pittsburgh, Saints, Baltimore, Arizona, Tampa Bay. So they got some games in there that they should win. They should win.
They could split with the Saints and they could split with the Panthers. Seattle could be a team they potentially beat.
Yeah, I got them.
The Bears they could potentially beat.
Yeah.
Washington. Now, why? I don't know. See, Washington and how they act on defense this season. Last year we thought they were going to be the number 1 defense in the league coming in. They've upgraded, so maybe Washington. Maybe
I give it to them now, but you never know. Yeah,
and yeah, it's I don't know.
Man. I got them beating Pittsburgh just for the fact that I trust Mariota more than just between Mariota and I'm blanking on the tight end.
Pickett. Are you talking about the tight end for Falcons?
Falcons. The dude that went off last year.
Kyle Pitts?
Kyle Pitts.
You're doubting him?
No. Because of him, they should be able to. That's going to be the combo. I think this year is them two. You're going to see them a lot. I think. Where Pittsburgh, I don't trust any of their quarterbacks. I trust Mariota more than any of their quarterbacks in Pittsburgh.
I think it's because we're used to seeing what we like. We're not used to seeing Kenny Pickett yet. If you're seeing him in college, you that's what you get. But he's not in that system yet. I think we still need to see how it plays out. And again, that's not until freaking week.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the season.
Yeah, December 4th. That's towards the end of the season. We don't even know if Mariota's the guy still. We might see Desmond Ridder in there by that point.
That's true.
Because I'm thinking Desmond Ridder might start actually by week 9.
Because of injury?
Outside of injury? No, I think he's gonna go in at week 9. Injury or not. I think so. But we'll see by then. Because people are forgetting Drake London's still gonna be a threat. Kyle Pitts is going to be a threat. Those dudes are some big dudes.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson is a versatile guy. And I would not be surprised if Tyler Algier is one of their main key bruiser backs. So we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. I mean, they won 7 last year. They were 7-10 last year.
That was also Matt Ryan.
It was a lot of it was Matt Ryan, but Pitts, put on a show. He was really, really good. But I think you got another weapon. Patterson kind of. I think they might know what to do with him now. Where last year they were just like, "Here's the ball, do something." Where I think this year they might make some plans for him. Yeah. And I think Mariota might do well. I really do. He might get hurt, but I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Rookie quarterbacks in Pittsburgh, I don't trust rookie quarterbacks really at all. I think every rookie quarterback should sit. But in Pittsburgh, what are you going to do? You sit behind Trubisky? Granted, Trubisky probably got better. I'll give him that. He probably got better behind Josh Allen last year.
He had a better coach over there too.
Yeah, better coach, better system, better everything, environment. So maybe he's not broken like how he broke other quarterbacks in Chicago, but I think he's going to do well. But I don't think he's not the guy. So I don't know. But I got them. But I got them going over. I got them winning about 6.
I can't see over. I see 5.
You see 5?
Yeah, I see 5. Even though that hurts me to say, but I think I see 5. I don't think they go 6. I mean, that's going to be very difficult because that 6 wins going to be Pittsburgh or some lucky win by somebody else. Like I said, they're not beating the Rams or the Browns or the Buccaneers or the Bengals or or the Chargers. My bad. Yeah. They might split with the Panthers. Might split with the Saints. So that's 2 wins. Easy.
I mean, Seattle should definitely be
Bears,
Seattle should be win.
Seattle,
yeah. They should beat the Bears because I think the Bears are going to be just all over the place. And I think Cordell Patterson is definitely going to want to show off. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has a game.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah.
I mean, the Falcons are easily could potentially be the second worst team next year. Maybe 3rd.
Interesting.
I would say Seattle's going to be the worst team next season.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed with that for sure.
I think Seattle's going to be in a really crapshoot. They're just it's just the dumpster fire over there. Then I see maybe Falcons coming in 2nd or 31st. My bad. Or Houston.
Yeah.
And I think the Lions might actually overtake all 3 of those teams. I honestly see that the Lions coming in at a freaking 28th next season.
Yeah, it could be. I do. I don't know. I think I got a little bit more faith in Atlanta. I mean, they got 7 wins. A lot of it was Matt Ryan, like we said. But I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a make or break season. I think for Mariota, he's had chances before. This has to be his last chance, right? I mean, they're like, if he fails this season, they're like, you're not a starter. Like you're done.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be a starter at all.
No.
So I don't think I think his starting days are pretty much.
So he's just a filler until
I really think so. He's a very good high. He's the Teddy Bridgewater's now. He's in that same tier. Like he's going to be a starter for multiple games in a season, but he's not going to be like week 1. That's what you guys want. At some point, he's a multiple year guy. They're going to replace him at some point, and that's exactly what Atlanta's going to do. They're going to replace him next season. It wouldn't surprise me if C.J. Stroud comes in next season or Bryce Young.
Yeah. To the Falcons. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. That'd be interesting. Yeah. So that's them 5.5. I thought it was a good number. We already did Panthers. And then we're down to our last 2 teams. We got the Saints. Bring this over real quick. Go over their schedule. So the Saints, their schedule is Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Minnesota, Seattle, Cincinnati, Arizona, Vegas, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Rams, San Francisco, Tampa, Atlanta, Browns, Eagles, Panthers. So very interesting season, I think. Besides a few teams that should just blow them out, everything else is going to be pretty decent, or they barely lose.
Yeah. I just pull up the schedule. It's visual.
Oh, okay, yeah. But they're at 7.5. You know, and they lost the biggest thing that they could lose was Sean Payton. You know, so is you know, they went 9-8 last year. Yeah, you know, they got Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, Olave, which is, you know, great. Kamara, I haven't heard anything about Kamara.
There's got to be some type of suspension. Like it's been so quiet. I was like, usually we would have heard something by now with OTAs opening up, something. And maybe I just haven't looked. But it's really odd that we haven't heard much.
Anything. And I haven't heard anything about,
and especially Kamara. from what he did. Like it was like pretty much damn assault. So
but there's no way he's starting. How many games? I don't know. I think 4 is usually a number.
Usually that's kind of like
number to be around.
Usually, at minimum.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he could be missed. I mean, they're playing the first 4 games is Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Minnesota. I mean, he's definitely a key player in this offense.
In those first 3 games, yes.
Yeah.
Especially division.
Yeah,
it sucks for them.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go to Minnesota. They could. That's probably a loss there. They'll probably win against Seattle.
Yeah.
Lose against the Bengals. Lose against the Cardinals. So I don't know. Well, maybe. Yeah, I think the Cardinals might beat them out.
They on paper they should. You know, on paper, but
Seattle, St. Louis, man, their defense always surprises us every year. They're always good. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
How like some of their draft picks they just fill in. You know, they went with Chris Olave, like you said. They got a Trevor Penning to help out with the offensive line. And then Alontae Taylor was pretty good. And then DeMarco Jackson, he's okay. But they only had like 5 draft picks. And 3 of them, the last 3 were a bunch of defensive players. So
yeah. Corner, linebacker, D line. I mean, and I'm not a big fan of Trevor Penning. I know people like loved him. I mean, all the tapes I saw from him, I haven't seen many, like a solid game, but all the tapes I saw, he would have been holding. He would have been considered holding every single highlight they had. That's holding in the NFL.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's from what I saw. I know, like I said, I never watched like a full game, but all of his highlights, I'm like, oh, cool, holding. You know, it's like, dude, you're like, I mean, he would have to change up his game because you're not in college anymore. You can't get away with stuff like that. So you know, so if he could, then that'd be great. I don't know if he could or not. You know, some of those guys are just stuck in their ways. So we'll see.
I'm sure he'll change it up because in the Senior Bowl he did pretty good. He did pretty good in the Senior Bowl, so I was impressed with that. So
yeah, I just saw his highlight reel. I was like, oh, yeah, he's like super tough and you know, badass, but every single highlight is a flag. So I don't know. Maybe that's just like the highlight reel showing how tough, badass he is.
Yeah. But 7 wins, it's potentially they're gonna need it. They don't have their first round pick next season.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to do something. And if they either decide to tank at some point or they decide to like just find a mediocre because they don't have a first, they're diving into next season with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and no 6th. So again, with five picks next season, you know, they got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Yeah. I mean, they might trade up or try to at least. I don't know.
Try to. If anything, they should have gotten. They should have traded Michael Thomas out.
Agreed. Yeah.
They should have. As good as he is, as good as we're used to what he is, like he hasn't been in the NFL for 2 seasons due to injuries or whatever.
Yeah.
So
he still has a name though, So I think they could have at least used that. But
yeah,
I don't know. See, Saints, their office people are not like their GMs and stuff like that. I always question their moves, but
yeah.
But we got him over or under 7.5.
I'm looking at these and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think under, man.
Yeah.
I think under 7.5.
Yeah. I think they're gonna be the worst team in the division. That's why I know you said like Atlanta, but I think they could be worse than Atlanta.
I don't think so.
I don't think Winston's the guy. And then once Winston goes down, then what? What are you gonna do once Winston gets hurt again?
Yeah, that's true.
Then at that point, what? You're gonna pull another tight end out? Sean Payton's gone. So you don't have the genius behind the play calling, or coaching. So I mean, yeah, Winston is gonna get hurt because that's just what he does, which sucks because I do like him. I do think he's a fun player to watch. He's like a fun personality.
Didn't they just sign someone though?
They did. I don't remember who.
It was Andy Dalton.
Oh shit! Yeah, man. That's actually not bad.
It's better than freaking Taysom Hill.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, at least he's an actual quarterback. He's not a. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. Now I think about it.
Andy Dalton there, so I don't know, man. I still see I see them don't getting any over 7. No way.
Oh yeah, max 7. Max 7.
Yeah,
but yeah. I guess I can see them going much under that. I can see them going like 5 and that's it. But okay. And then we're gonna finish off with the Bucks. So the Bucks obviously they got them winning the division. 11.5 wins. Where we at? They were 13-4 last season. So Brady left, came back. He's messing up everything for everybody. And then a quick rundown of their schedule. They got Dallas, Saints, Green Bay, Kansas City, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Baltimore, Rams, Seattle, Cleveland, Saints, San Fran, Cincinnati, Arizona, Carolina, Atlanta. Not a bad schedule.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Not a bad schedule. The first 4 weeks is damn. Dallas, Saints, Green Bay, Kansas City.
Those are going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. See him. I mean, this is Brady's last.
The Saints, I think they're just going to blow them out.
Yeah, that's an easy win.
But the Cowboys.
That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a real fun game. Green Bay, Brady versus Rodgers, and then Brady versus Mahomes. Yeah. Those are going to be great games. And I think the NFL knows that. Like, they're going to put those guys together. But after that, it should be not too bad for a while. Then they got Atlanta, who they should win. They got Pittsburgh that they should win. Carolina should win. Baltimore is going to be a fun game. About mid-season. Injuries start kind of creeping up. We'll see what happens there. But
should be roughly where bye weeks start happening, right?
5 or 6. Yeah. 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 Right around there. 3. And then the Rams are gonna be a good game, I think, too. Seattle should be a win.
7, 8. I see 8 easy wins.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Just I'm looking at this, and I think I see 8 wins easy.
Yeah,
What's the over?
easy.
11.5.
I agree.
Okay.
11 and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, easy. Easy 8 with another 2-3 games in there that they pull off.
They put a little bit effort in. I mean, the 8 wins should be just Tom Brady out there having fun, and doing Tom Brady shit. Another like 5 more game, probably like another 2-3 more games where they have to put some effort into it, and another like 2 games that are going to be like good games.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like before
the Cleveland one's gonna be fun too.
Yeah, I think so. What week is that? Watson should be back by then.
He should. That's like towards the end of the. I think that's after their bye week.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's week 12, dude.
Yeah.
He's back by then. That should be a crazy.
We got some comments.
Yeah. Apparently the NFL is rigged.
JT's been in here before. I saw him. Yeah. For NFL is fake. NFL equals WWE.
I disagree with.
I wish.
I disagree with both of those.
I wish it was rigged. You know how much money I would have? But yeah.
I don't even watch WWE, and I think some of that crap they pull off, man.
I gave up on WWE a long time ago.
Well, I mean, not all of it. Like, I'm just saying, I don't watch it at all. I couldn't name you any like 5 dudes at all, to be honest.
But
when I see a dude jump off of a 60-foot ladder onto another dude, like that I can't explain. That I cannot explain. That's just...
You disagree? Why? One, it'll be a federal crime for like embezzlement and I don't know what you would call like all that stuff with betting. Bro, WWE is immediately fake. Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of it's training.
No, it is fake. Yeah,
but I just can't explain when the dude jumps off top of the ladder, top of a cage, or some random crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's fake. You can't fake, like you said, jumping off a ladder and landing on someone or on something.
Oh, I would love to see that.
That shit hurt. That shit hurts, man. That's legit. But I got to give credit to the women. The women wrestlings have been way more entertaining than the men. Yeah. I think a lot of the men are just knockoffs of The Rock or Stone Cold now. The women are more fun. I think they got good storylines. They're kind of fun, entertaining. That's a great point. Now we have an issue with the NFL being rigged. I don't see them being rigged. Sorry, dude.
They still surprise me every year. They still surprise me. There's some games where I predict that are going to be blowouts, and then they surprise me. Unless you want to, always a team like the Lions, I did not expect them to do as good as they did last season. Like, okay, the record does not show as good as what I'm saying, but they lost. They had some of these games beat, man, and they lost like a field goal or something. Like it's just crazy to me that some of these games were just wow. Yeah,
Oh, they were good until the end, kind of thing. The one thing I think, I don't know if JT is talking about the whole Mahomes in the championship game last year, in the AFC championship game, because a lot of people are saying he threw it on purpose, because that was a big thing. Because like the first half he played amazing, and then the second half he was trash. So whenever you get things like that, you do get a lot of people saying like, oh, he's doing it for money, inside trading, or inside betting kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's bad. But I mean, if stuff like that gets caught, I mean, it gets really bad. I mean, look at the baseball. Baseball, I don't think ever really fully recovered from Pete Rose, from him doing the inside betting. It always had like a lot of issues and stuff like that. Yeah, Mahomes clearly threw that game. Yeah. So, and then you think playoff games are getting won by less than the spread is by chance? No, I mean, but that's what happens when you put two good teams together. I mean, there might be an off day. But that Kansas City game did raise the question of a lot of people. Yeah, but Dolphins claiming pay to lose. I mean, that's not
that was a different issue with them.
Yeah,
they wanted to get a higher draft pick.
Yeah, and that's not betting on games.
I feel like that is a situation where like we want to lose on purpose kind of thing. But you know what's crazy is he was still pulling these off. Like he was still winning, man. Like
yeah, because his record as the coach. Yeah,
they fired him, and I'm like, are you serious, dude? Like, everyone was still confused on why he got fired. Like, it's just crazy. Yeah. This is why the Steelers, their coaching staff is gonna be a lot better. And that's why it's like, okay, I feel like the next following seasons, if they keep the same coaching staff, Brian Flores and Mike Tomlin there, it's gonna be kind of crazy there, like in a good way for them. So, but I don't know, man. I don't think that. Like I wouldn't say it's fake or anything like that. Like you said, it would be. There's so many lawsuits that would happen if it was.
Yeah, even like the Browns coach, paid to lose kind of stuff. I mean, there's also the pay to hurt a player. There's that too. If it, I mean, that's stuff you don't like to see. But also, it's like, how much money is it worth? Is your career? Because Brian Flores is like, oh, hey, lose, and we'll give you more money, and he's like, yeah, but if I lose, I don't look like I'm a good coach, and I can't find a job anywhere.
Yeah, that hurts his future career, and I think that's why he came out and said that.
Yeah, exactly. Because if he were to lose, get paid, it's not like the Dolphins were going to keep him around because now he's a losing coach. So now you need to get rid of that.
Nobody would hire him after that.
Yeah, and then no one would hire him. So he, you don't want to do it. So that's where the kind of like the whole like calling people out for shit is not the same as being fake. Yeah, I mean, because teams like owners are like, yeah, I don't want to win this year because I'm guessing like Seattle wants to probably lose every single game. If I had to put money on it, Seattle would want to lose every single game, But as the players on the field and the coaches and stuff like that, your pride, your career, your record is on the line.
No, not at all.
It's not rigged. No, rigged means like two teams plan to score something. Like there's a plan out there, So it's different than being rigged.
Yeah, so. No, it's difficult to say on some of these games. Like we didn't expect Washington 2 seasons ago to be as good as they were, make the playoffs, and and then the following season it just do horrible. Like it was just really weird. I expect Washington to do as good as they did that season because a lot of that roster has not changed. If anything, it improved. So
yeah.
But no, I don't think it's rigged at all. It's hard to do. I mean, in cases like that, if that's a lot of like players that would have to be involved, a lot of coaching staff. Yeah, it's the topic that I just kind of ignore because if people think it's rigged, then okay, well that's what you believe in. But no,
I mean, there's when it happens in sports, it becomes like a giant thing. There was it the NBA? I could be wrong. They just did a big expose about it, I believe, late last year, early this year with the NBA, with these players coming out and saying like they did stuff.
This guy. Whatever, dude.
Those sisters, right? Do. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you want to feel like that.
Oh man, you're all entitled to your opinions, but is it rigged? No, not at all. I don't think at all. There's no way. Because here's the thing: if I'm going to try and argue with someone who's going to think it's rigged and they're convinced that it's rigged, there's no convincing someone who's already like, no, that's the way it is. I'm like, all right, well, If you think the Earth is flat and I'm telling you that it's round, then what am I tell you? Like, I'm not going to convince you of something if you already believe in something. So, I mean,
there's an argument to everything. You could say A and you're like, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. You go, all right, well, about B, but blah, 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 blah. You know, and that's just like kind of how it is. Which, you know, it is like, if, you know, you want to believe it's rigged, dude, by all means, man. By all means, go for it.
Yeah.
But if sports in general, like there has been rigging in the past before a lot of the regulations that are newer regulations. And it was bad. It was really bad. You know, like but even like the NBA, there was some I believe it was NBA or NCAA. I think it was NBA. Or a bunch of players like were like padding their stats with each other. And they were doing something, and they were getting a shit ton of money, and it came out and it came out like fairly recently. I don't know the details, so I'm sorry if I'm like messing things up, but none of them were giant big NBA players, but they were still in the NBA, and they were doing shit, so they were getting a lot of money on the side, and they're all in like big trouble where they might have to like prison, like federal prison, like kind of shit, like big trouble. There's a few of them, you know. None of them are playing in the league anymore, but it was a lot of money, and they're getting in big trouble with it, like big trouble. So I expect to hear a lot more about that later, you know, when NBA really starts picking up, you know, playoffs. Well, they're in playoffs now, but probably like next year, you know, next season, stuff like that. Yeah, whenever it's playoffs, everything kind of goes under the rug. They're like, shh, we don't talk about that. Playoffs.
Yeah.
You know,
because it happens.
You know,
it happens in every sport, everything, any type of entertainment. It's like it's something the way it is. And it all involves with the betting. So
yeah. That's why I understand if like a lot of people say it's rigged and this and that, because I'm like, there are some things where you can't explain, you know, so you're kind of.
If it was rigged, I wouldn't be doing what we do here every week on daily.
Yeah,
almost.
Sometimes.
Yeah, right. I love the sport too much to where it's like I like what they do. I like how it entertains us not only on a viewing site but on a fantasy football site. That it's so there's so much that you can do and it's so fun. But yeah, fun. No, I'm not gonna stop watching it, and because I don't believe it is. So. Yeah.
Does it have issues? Yes. But is it rigged? Is it that bad of an issue?
No, the issues are probably like some of the rule changes. I really hope that the overtime one does get changed. Which I think it did, didn't it? The overtime rule where it's like they both get a chance at least rather than the whole coin flip, and then now if once one team gets the chance, I can't remember what it was to. But that one I'm excited for. I know it changed. I just put it under, like, I haven't really thought about it.
I think someone said it was like kind of, but it's only for playoff games. It's not for regular season games.
Oh, yeah, because it matters then.
Yeah.
Where if they can go with a whole tie, let's see, March 30, under the NFL overtime rules, a team to receive the ball could end the game without the other team touching the ball. That would happen if and only if the team would get the ball first, scored a touchdown under the new setup. Both teams will get the ball in overtime regardless of what happens. Yeah. So they both get a chance, which is fair to me. They both get a chance, at least. You know, it used to be where it was like 15 minutes, and that was it. So whatever happens, happens.
You play another quarter, yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't mind that either. But then, like, they changed it to where if one team scored a touchdown, it was basically over. Or if the other team scored a field goal, but the second possession team ended up scoring a touchdown, then it would be over for them. Like that. That's what they changed. So I'm glad both teams get a chance now in the overtime rule, because that's exactly what happened with the Chiefs and the Bills last season.
Yeah. So
that's why it's like, oh yeah, how was it thrown if they still managed to advance? I don't know. It's because I would say everyone wanted the Bills to win that game.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yeah, because I think the Bills probably would have won.
Oh God, did you watch that game though?
Which one?
The Bills versus Chiefs last season in the play. That was.
I think we watched it. We watched it live. We
No,
did a watch party.
No, it was we watched it. No, we didn't watch it. It was one of the later games in the playoffs. I remember this because myself, Mark and his family and a couple of friends, we were all at it wasn't New York, but it was kind of like a New York establishment.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have one of those in Chicago. I doubt, but it was back and forth. It was a really good game. But it was one of the best games ever.
Yeah, that was such a good game. Oh no, we watched the Cincinnati game.
Cincinnati Chiefs. I don't remember. I know you guys did a live, and I don't think I was there for it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. We watched the Cincinnati game, and then we watched. You were in it on one of the games. We were at like Fredo's house, and we did the whole.
Oh.
Thing. But I forgot what.
Yeah, it wasn't Bills Chiefs though.
No,
that might have been Cincinnati. I think, wasn't it? What's that?
I think that was a Saturday game, and then we watched the Sunday games.
Something like that, yeah.
Cincinnati and something else, yeah. But cool. Man, but that's all I got. Just did a quick over under of what the teams,
yeah, dude.
So if anybody watching, you guys want to watch like a full breakdown of every team, go check out Dynasty Pylon. You guys are doing every team. You're breaking down like their draft picks, their schedule, and you're doing more in-depth stuff. So check out Dynasty Pylon Wednesdays, and then you guys doing a bunch of like lunch hour kind of stuff too during the week.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're doing the Giants.
The Giants?
Yeah, we're picking it back up. I just got back. Yeah. It was just a weird schedule. My issues and stuff. Yeah, like
you got plenty of time to knock out 32 teams. Well, now you already got what, 3 done?
4.
So, yeah. So you got time. So make sure you check out Dynasty Pylon. Go subscribe to them. And then the Nerd Huddle, we're talking Panda and Grizzly, talking about Bears, a bunch of other NFL news too. And then every Sunday right here, we're gonna do more of the divisional over unders. We're gonna do some mock drafts. We're gonna break down top positions in fantasy, getting closer to the season. We got a couple of trivia kind of weekends. So we got some stuff that are gonna be fun and beneficial if you're a fantasy player. So definitely check us out there. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to Dynasty Pylon Nerd Huddle. But anything from you before we get out?
Nah, dude.
No,
I'm good.
Cool. Yeah, cool. There's a schedule. But yeah, appreciate you coming in and finishing off the over under with us. But let's get out of here, man. Enjoy Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, same to you, man. Later.
All right. Later.